What is this? What's going on? Yeah, I know we're live, but no, that's not the point. I had everything planned for Fully Loaded Sunday. Come on, I sent you a list. Where's the motorcyclists? Where's the leather? Where's the dice? Where's the pyros? Where's the cage dancers? I called in for a battalion of 500 bikers from the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally to come here. What happened?
You gave me a list.
Well, that's ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I sent you a message on your phone.
Yeah, you sent me a message.
What did it say?
It said, "Go get me this shit," and you didn't actually get anything. How am I gonna pay for this stuff? I didn't even know what the hell you were talking about. You had one sip of that wine we got, and then all of a sudden you started rambling about bikers and motorcycles and stuff, and you were talking about women in cages. I thought you were being racist for a minute.
I've never been able to handle my liquor 100%. Oh, crap! Now what are we supposed to do? This is supposed to be a time-honored tradition to a pay-per-view from the Attitude Era.
Guess one thing to do, not do that, because you look like a chingado idiot.
Ah, great. Hang on. All right. Let me change out of this.
Just get rid of the jacket and the.
I'm doing everything. Come on.
Yeah. Those are sunglasses. You look silly. Those aren't even your normal sunglasses. I've got your normal sunglasses right here.
Save those for the main show. I always save the best for the best.
You have any idea how embarrassing this is?
Yeah, I know it is embarrassing. Well, you know what? Screw it. We're doing it live. We're live. How you doing, guys? Thank you for tuning in for a special simulcast edition of Fully Loaded Sunday.
Can you stop with the motorcycling? You are not on a motorcycle.
You can only have dream. One can dream, okay?
No dreams. Dreams are dead. We're not allowed to have nice things anymore, ever since the things happened.
My head, it's all crooked. Just like this whole plan. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. My head's still crooked, but you know what? I'm gonna go. Okay.
You are bummed. Come on, relax.
Alright, fine. Let me put it on forward, see how it looks.
Now you look like a newsie.
It doesn't look so bad.
You look like a newsie, folks. Everybody go on and dance. Christian Bale singing and dancing before he was ever Batman. Newsies. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I never saw the movie, so I don't know what it's about, so whatever.
I'm your host, Jose Casabona, and joining me behind the camera is Mr. Juan Rouse to call me out on my bullshit, just like he just did a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I know. And this special simulcast, I will be reviewing the special Saturday edition of AEW Dynamite, and for the first time ever, I'm doing a full review analysis of NXT TakeOver 30. This is not only the first time I do a review on a TakeOver event, but the first time I'm reviewing a pay-per-view event, period.
Yay.
This will be a one-and-done deal. Maybe we'll do it again in the future. Maybe we'll not, but whatever. Let's get straight into it. I think it's only best if I start with this week's edition, with yesterday's edition of Dynamite. So I hope you bear with me, folks.
So yes, people, we do actually do stuff outside of our shows on a Saturday night. We just try to do our shows more.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yep.
It's create content. That I can't.
Create context.
All right. First, we start off with a tag team match. The team of FTR versus Private Party. And this time, FTR is accompanied by wrestling legend and a member of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard. Now, wait a minute. Isn't Tully Blanchard like coaching for Shawn Spears?
Yay, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I'd say...
You have to remember, I'm not keeping up with this stuff, but yes.
No, but I am, and from last week, FTR actually, during the Tag Team Appreciation Night, FTR actually referenced the Four Horsemen, specifically Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, as being the greatest tag team of all time. So they
cool.
earned a lot of respect from Tully Blanchard. Arn Anderson, not so much, otherwise he would be out there. So,
I guess.
This was a good tag match. It went past a commercial break. Of course, everything was going solid for the good guys. The good guys were trying to get a leverage over FTR because, let's face it, at this point, FTR has now established that they're full heel. They faked a knee injury
Oh wow! So and after this, you said Tully Blanchard joined them with this?
Yes, Tully Blanchard is now managing FTR along with Sean Spears.
Oh boy!
Ooh, this is further fueling the speculation of the Four Horsemen coming back.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
McGlove.
Then afterwards, we got a great, a thrilling promo from AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Cut the promo on MJF, basically acknowledging that yes, he's the young buck, no pun intended. He is part of the future for AEW, and maybe someday in the future he will become AEW World Champion. But at Saturday's AEW All Out, which is September 5th, he is going to destroy him. He mentioned many different ways of destroying him, even mentioning that he will split his skull with his own skull.
What?
Yes, he will headbutt him so hard that he will split MJF's skull in half. He literally said that.
Oh, Adelinda over here. Hi. It's a little bit hard to hear. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh,
Hang on.
Hang on.
Yeah, change your thing, Jose.
I did.
Hang on.
Let me sort of turn it off and turn it back on. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Off. 1, 2. Now can you hear me?
Hey, Adelinda. No,
Please let me know if you can hear me.
let me give Jose my microphone here.
Yeah, let's do that. Hang on.
Ben Cruz is joining us on Instagram on this special edition of Fully Loaded Sunday.
Hey Ben, thanks for joining us. We're in the middle of switching mics around because one of the mics suck, or maybe I just suck. But the point is, during this duration of Fully Loaded Sunday, leave your comments, leave your questions. If it's wrestling related or not, it doesn't matter. We'll take time off of our review to answer all comments and all replies. That being said,
I'm going to say yay, that's much better. Yay.
much better. Awesome. So yes, Jon Moxley will split MJF's head in half by bashing him in the head with his head. He said that. Not in that exact words, but he made it very clear that he's going to whoop the shit out of him.
What?
Then afterwards, we got another backstage promo with MJF and his campaign entourage, and MJF is selling the on the last week by Jon Moxley via Paradigm Shift, and he is now petitioning that the Paradigm Shift be banned from AEW. And he is crying, he is in tears, he is selling the neck injury, and even his executives are also petitioning to have that move banned. And they even want Jon Moxley to sign a contract restraining him from using the Paradigm Shift. Oh my God.
That's like asking Matt Hardy to not use the twist of fate.
I know, right?
That's like asking Chris Jericho to not use the Judas effect.
Yeah.
That's like asking Triple H not to use,
the pedigree.
influence in politicking and
Or the
banging the boss's daughter.
Or the sledgehammer.
No, banging the boss's daughter.
Or banging the boss's daughter. Well, they're married, so it kind of doesn't apply.
Definitely applies.
All right, well, anyways. So, nevertheless, great promo from Moxley. Great promo and selling the neck injury from MJF. So that was awesome. Then afterwards, we got an 8-man tag team match. Oh, it's a doozy. It is the Butcher and the Blade tag teaming with the Lucha Bros versus the Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and the Natural Dustin Rhodes. Marshall. Why is it pronounced Marshall?
I have no idea.
I don't know anymore.
Notice how Allie doesn't want to have anything to do with her husband anymore, the Blade?
What is up with that? This is getting confusing. Oh no, trust me. I'm going to get to that later, but
Is she having marital issues?
I'm going to get to that later.
Not sharp enough?
I'm going to get to it later. Stop asking me. I don't know what they do. Anyways, so this was a tough 8-man tag match to follow along. All I can say is, near the end, there was a bit of a miscommunication issue between the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. Yeah, well, it looked like the Butcher and the Blade wanted to do like their own tag team package Spike Piledriver that the Lucha Bros do, but the Lucha Bros wasn't having it, so they got into a bit of an argument. This caused the distraction long enough for Jungle Boy to roll up one of the teammates to get the win. Yes.
Anytime I hear the name Jungle Boy, I just think of some random little brat running around in a loincloth and just jumping like Super Mario and Yoshi's love child.
No, that would be Marco Stunt, who's also at ringside.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm just joking.
No. Then afterwards, there's more arguing between the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros until Eddie Kingston came down to the ring. Eddie Kingston, the man who made his debut on Dynamite challenging Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship in a no disqualification match. The same Eddie Kingston that powerbombed Cody onto thumbtacks. He came down and cut a fiery...
Hardcore dude.
Yes, he is. He came down and cut a fiery promo on both teams, trying to get them to unite together and not to fight each other. And I'm guessing we have a new faction formed between 5 of them, with Eddie Kingston leading them. Which is odd, because there's a faction already with Pac and the Lucha Bros called the Death Triangle, but Pac is overseas, so no chance in that happening. So yeah, okay, so we got a faction forming with Eddie Kingston. I'll buy it. That's fine. All right. Then afterwards, we have an exclusive interview from one of the commentators from AEW. Tony Schiavone is interviewing Orange Cassidy, being accompanied to the ring by Best Friends.
Are you kidding me?
I'm kid you not.
What, do you remember how Orange Cassidy doesn't talk? The one thing that he talked about the most was about, like...
The sea level rising, the environment, the global warming. Dude, that's a very serious issue.
Do you remember how that had nothing to do with anything?
It got him to win in the debate.
Do you remember how that debate was bullshit?
Hey, you want to call Eric Bischoff on bullshit because he's the one?
Yes.
Look, man,
Yes.
I'm just saying, man.
In 3 weeks, he could have gone for 100.
Oh. So the interview, of course, was cut short with Chris Jericho marching down to the ring with a little bit of the bubbly in hand, and
So Jericho's drunk on the job.
He's drunk on the job, and oh my god, he even changed his Titantron video to add the Demo God to it. God damn him. Like,
But you love him.
Of course I do.
But you love Chris Jericho.
Yes, I love Chris Jericho. That's why I'm ridiculously mad. Yes, I do. So, Jericho came down to the ring paying respect to Orange Cassidy because now they each have a win over each other, and they're going to settle it in a rubber match at AEW All Out. But it won't be a... But
Is it wrong that I hear the term rubber match and I instantly think about condoms?
No, nothing that stupid. But trust me. But trust me, there is a gimmick match that's going to be just as stupid. Just when you think they can't push the envelope past the Stadium Stampede, oh, Jericho proves us wrong once again. He has challenged Orange Cassidy to a Mimosa match.
Oh, Captain Jennyside is lurking on us on our Twitch stream. Hi.
Hi.
Jenny.
Hey, Cap.
Hey, we're talking pro wrestling. We're talking about AEW Dynamite that happened on Saturday and the special NXT TakeOver PayPerView event.
Yes, indeed. Drop a comment. Please don't be a dick.
We normally do this only on our Instagram feed, but tonight we're doing a very special 3-way simulcast of Doom.
Oh, yes. It's a trifecta of simulcasting.
Okay, why did you do that weird?
I don't know. I was trying to do a triangle.
So what was this match happening with?
It's called the Orange Mimosa match. I don't know the specific term for it, but it's a gimmick match. You win by either pinfall, submission, or throwing your opponent in some giant pool of, like, orange mimosa. Yeah. Thank you. Oddly enough, he actually gave his thumbs up to accept this stupid challenge, and then he invited the Inner Circle to come down with their own bottles of the same little bit of the bubblies to join and drink with the Best Friends, which of course leads to a giant gang beatdown.
On who?
On Inner Circle on Best Friends, and they poured a whole bunch of the bubbly onto Orange Cassidy, drowning him and then knocking him out.
Oh no, what? No, what?
Yes,
What?
yes. Jericho is... I want to laugh. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm like, Jericho, you let this feud go. Why are you still working with Orange Cassidy?
Why? Because it's funny in there.
Oh my god, and the Mimosa match? Oh my god.
Okay, you know what Mimosa is, right?
Yes, it's an alcoholic beverage.
No, we know that, like, you don't know what it is, right? It's basically just champagne and orange juice.
Yes, it's champagne and orange juice, yes. I know what it is.
So basically, like, okay, you can either win the match like a normal
This is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is supposed to be the bad guy, leading the inner circle. He came strong at the beginning of AEW as a top bad guy, punishing Hangman Page, punishing Cody Rhodes. And now he's wrestling Orange Cassidy in a Mimosa match? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm moving on. This is hurting my brain. This is hurting my goddamn brain. God damn it! All right. Then afterwards, we got a squash match with Darby Allin getting the win over another newcomer talent. I forgot his name. Something Will. I don't know. His name is Will, and he's got this gimmick where he's all about willpower. I saw one of his matches on AEW Dark. He was. So after the match, Taz, who was. He then cut a fiery promo against Darby Allin, once again hyping his big man, the Machine, Brian Cage, the FTW Heavyweight Champion who has not been on national TV for weeks after losing to Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship and after losing to both Jon Moxley and Darby Allin in a tag team match. So, what happens then? After Taz cuts his promo, Darby Allin is then ambushed by Brian Cage, and then Ricky Starks, another member of their faction, comes down dressed like Darby Allin, makeup and all, basically making fun of his gimmick, mocking his gimmick, saying, "Oh, I don't need makeup and I don't need all this shit to get over, you know, I'm popular as it is," then beats the shit out of Darby Allin. Yeah. So, then afterwards, let me go on. The Elite, the Young Bucks, and one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega, versus numbers 3, 4, and 5 of the Dark Order. 3 and 4, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, and number 5, Alex Angel, the High Flyer.
Okay, you gotta remember something. The reason why these guys are numbered is because in this evil bad guy group, the Dark Order, half of these guys are wearing cheap luchador masks. The other half have gimmicks that have nothing to do with anything. And then you have Colt Cabana, who there was someone who put some fan art of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Colt Cabana is at the feet of the ruler of the Dark Order, Brodie Lee.
Mr. Brodie Lee.
And he's got him on a dog leash.
Oh my God.
Colt Cabana on a dog leash, and Cabana's like, "Wait, you guys really think I'm a dog now? You think I'm just being a lapdog? Like this isn't what's supposed to be happening."
Oh my God.
Dude, what? I love Colt Cabana back when he stood for something. Dude.
Okay, here's the thing. This wasn't a total 2-minute squash, but we knew who was going to win. It was going to be the Elite, and it was going to be Kenny Omega. I mean, Reynolds and Silver and Angel, they put on a great effort, but we right from the beginning already know that they were. But of course, afterwards, we start seeing more scenes of Kenny Omega's heel turn as he grabs the steel chair and threatens to punish one of the members of the Dark Order by breaking their neck on the steel chair, until his buddies, the Young Bucks, Mac and Nick Jackson, hold him back and say, "No, that is not the Elite way." Not in those exact words, but
Do you guys not remember how the Elite was born? Y'all were like the biggest bad guy faction in Japan.
Yep.
Like have y'all motherfuckers forgotten?
But this is all Elite Wrestling. We can't show Kenny Omega as a bad guy, can we?
Yeah.
I think.
Like, it would be better if he actually tried being a proper bad guy instead of, "Oh, I'm gonna tease, I'm gonna poke at the bear."
And that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're poking the bear. We're waiting weeks and weeks and weeks for an inevitable heel turn from Kenny Omega, and he keeps teasing it, beating up Marco Stunt, being dicks to the Jurassic Express, and threatening to send one of the members of the Dark Order to the hospital.
Like, that's a good thing. The Dark Order are bad guys.
Yeah,
They're
the Dark.
supposed to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna retribution nation."
But Kenny Omega is a wrestling artist, and this is completely out of character.
No, it's not. And if you've forgotten what his character is, he was the cleaner. As in, he was the guy who mops up the mess of everyone else. He wipes the floor with you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like a cleaner would. As in, he is supposed to be ruthless, and he is supposed to be
on that regard, Juan is right. At last year's AEW Full Gear, he did wrestle against Jon Moxley in a lights out, no holds barred match, and he was literally sweeping the shit out of Moxley with a barbed wire broom. So yes.
Oh my god!
So yes, Juan, you are right. However, in this case, I just want to see a heel turn. I just want to see it happen, and they need to stop wasting their time. So then afterwards, we got an interview backstage with Tully Blanchard and R. Basically, thumbs up to the team for acknowledging that him and Arn Anderson were the greatest tag teams of all time. Are explaining and Rock and Roll Express on their tag team appreciation night, with Hangman Adam Page coming down basically saying, hey, why'd you attack the Young Bucks? And they basically gave the same reason. Hey, we felt disrespected, man. We're just trying to be the best tag team, and hey, we're still your buddies, but can you really trust the Elite? What if they turn on you, Hangman Page?
Ooh, sowing seeds of doubt, yada yada yada.
Yes, so they all hug it out, they all drank their beers, trying to be buddies with the Hangman, with the Cowboy. Then afterwards, and I'm trying to go as... I'm trying to go in best order as I can. When they came back from a commercial break, Matt Hardy was beating the shit out of the Spanish god Sammy Guevara. He was punishing him with a steel chair shot after steel chair shot. 2 weeks ago, Guevara beat the shit out of Hardy and even threw a chair, not a gimmick chair, right on his head, busting him open, causing him to have 13 stitches onto his head. That spot was not planned, and Sammy Guevara got a lot of heat from it.
Question.
What is it?
Have you ever noticed how whenever there's stitches to the head, it's almost always 13 stitches?
Yeah, why is it always 13? I don't get it.
Like, I remember
Is that the number requirement that it takes to cover up a wound?
Like, I don't know if you remember, like years ago, CM Punk had a giant stitch on his head from a match, and it was 13 stitches. Chris Jericho, I remember he had said 13 stitches in the head. It is always 13 stitches.
I never
don't know why.
I never knew that. Thank you for shedding light on that.
Yeah, what the hell?
I don't know. So anyway,
So
Matt Hardy. Yeah, so Matt Hardy continues the beatdown, throws Sammy Guevara off the stage through a table, and then he goes down from under the ring to pull out another steel chair until the referees and officials hold Hardy back and escort Sammy Guevara out of the arena.
The moral of this story is Matt Hardy's a dick.
Sammy Guevara was a bigger dick. That chair shot to the head was not planned.
Yeah, but this is kind of a dick move.
Eye for an eye. What can I say?
Yeah, pro wrestling, that's what happens.
And at this point, I'd rather see Matt Hardy beat up Sammy Guevara than beat up a random dude that looked like Sammy Guevara. Like last week when he beat up a random dude.
Good point.
Next match. All right, we have the AEW Women's Tag Team Cup Tournament Finals. The Nightmare Sisters, Allie and Brandy Rhodes versus Ivelisse and Diamante.
Okay, just so you know, they've been running this women's tag team tournament on AEW's YouTube show, AEW Dark.
Yes, and before I go any further, I want to top my hat off and give my respects to the participants in the tournament. Big props to Big Swole, Nicole Savoy. Let's see, Ty Conti, Anna Jay of the Dark Order.
Oh, don't forget about Abaddon.
Abaddon wasn't part of the tournament.
Wasn't she?
No, she wasn't.
Well, give her shout-outs too.
Fine, I'll give her a shout-out. And Nyla Rose, the Native Beast, and also a shout-out to Cameron, former Funkadactyl from WWE, who made her come back in the tournament only to lose. But that's okay, because you were awesome. So, going on to the finals. The were escorted by Q Marshall and Dustin Rhodes, and Dustin is holding 2 action figures of Brandy Rhodes, and what the hell is he doing putting them in front of the camera, making the 2 lady figures fight each other? That just looked weird.
Both action figures of Brandy, though.
Yes. And they're fighting.
Brandy's fighting herself.
Dustin is making Brandy fight herself!
Is this like a metaphor or something?
I don't know!
Oh, Blazin47, our buddy Kyle, is joining us on our Instagram feed here. How's it going, buddy?
Hey Kyle, thanks for joining us. I'm about to talk about the finals to the AEW Women's Tournament Cup thingy, whatever the fuck. So, when I saw the...
emoji by Blazin47.
Indeed. So when I saw the tournament bracket and I saw highlight videos, my first thought, and you can't really fault me for this, This is just a way to get Brandy and Allie over. I honestly thought that they were going to be pushed to the moon and win the tournament, and I'm happy to say that I was proven wrong because Ivelisse and Diamante, they put on a valiant effort, isolating Allie away from the tag and focusing on a 2-on beat down. They Brandy. This was a great tag match. It was a standard tag match. Watching, Ivelisse and Diamante picked up the win over Allie, and they won the Tag Team Tournament Cup. So, yeah.
Allie, the bunny, what's her face, and Brandy Rhodes, they lost.
They lost, and this is the part where I'm mad because I was expecting a heel turn from Allie, but there was no heel turn. What the fuck is going on?
Okay, here's the question. What's her purpose for putting a heel turn at this point? Why would she want to turn on Brandy right now? If anything, Brandy ought to be kicking the crap out of Allie.
I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know if they're even going to have a heel Allie at this point.
Maybe not. We don't know. Next
Maybe
time.
not. So and then afterwards, we cut to the main event of the evening.
Hey.
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus the Exalted One, Mr. Brodie Lee, for the AEW TNT Championship. Last week, Brodie Lee cut a promo challenging Cody for the title with sporting the the uglier prototype version of the championship.
So you have to remember that the TNT Championship was announced and debuted completed. So they gave Cody Rhodes a kind of natty-looking stand-in belt that was nickel-plated,
Yeah.
like folded. Then it was only last week, right, when they debuted the proper
That's right.
TNT Championship
And it
belt.
looks better.
Better. It looks better than the nickel-plated one.
As far as championship designs goes, it's better than anything WWE's produced.
Blazer 47. How was the fight between Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho?
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. And
Yeah, Orange Cassidy won.
Yep.
Yeah, so now they're going to have a rubber match to break the tie at AEW's All Out, which is September 5th, at the Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, in a Mimosa match. I
Yeah.
still have to look for the term for the gimmick match, but there's going to be Mimosa involved.
Yeah, basically, and yeah, Blazing 47 saying, "Wow, yeah, no, the match was actually good.
It was
Orange
really good.
Cassidy actually turned on.
Yes, he was fired up. Thank you. But I want to talk about the main event for last night's Dynamite. So, when I watched it, this was completely one-sided. Like, there was Cody got barely any offense against Mr. Brodie Lee.
Wait, Cody got a shit kicked in?
Yeah,
Like
he
properly?
properly,
Shit.
almost a clean victory because Mr. Brodie Lee won, and we have crowned the new AEW TNT champ.
And Mr. Brodie Lee.
And
Which
Mr.
is
Brodie-
kinda scary.
Which is scary, yes.
Blazing, I need to watch that on YouTube. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead and watch that. Enjoy
Oh,
yourself.
trust me, there's highlight videos on YouTube. Go ahead and watch it. Then afterwards, the Dark Order came down in full celebration to celebrate Mr. Brodie Lee's victory, but unfortunately, on the flip side, Cody was stretchered out by the paramedics onto the stretcher, and
It was worse. Like, didn't, what's her face? Didn't Brandy also get her ass kicked?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Of injury with Cody, they understand during this match, Mr. Brodie Lee laid out a series of power bombs onto Brodie before nailing the discus clothesline, making him spin like a top. So, as they were trying to escort him over to the ambulance, the Dark Order beat up the ambulance.
Khan is joining us on our YouTube stream. Hi there, Khan.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So, Cody got his ass kicked, so did the officials, and so did Dustin, so did Arn Anderson by the Dark Order. And poor Brandy. Brandy came down to save her husband until she was attacked from behind by Anna Jay of the Dark Order, and she choked her ass out.
Like, it was bad. Like, okay, wow. So now the Dark Order is starting to make their move.
Yes, and before they cut off the programming, Mr. Brodie Lee had a black bag, and he dumped. This, however, is mine.
Blazing over here saying, "You guys are great. Keep up the good work. Thumbs up emoji. Blazing out."
And yes, do look up the match between Cassidy and Jericho. You're going to love it. So, and there was earlier reports, and I told you this one, a spoiler, that Eric Redbeard was going to make an AEW televised debut to help Rhodes win the championship, but that never happened. Now, one can...
They gave us a false leak.
They gave us a false leak, and I was going to make another speculation that because this was a recorded taping for Dynamite for Saturday, one could speculate that they did another recording to leave out Rick Redbeard. Maybe. There could be many reasons, but the point is, that spoiler, scrapped.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. You know, I'm glad that there's some folks who are working in AEW who are leaking out these false information, because it gives us a little swerve so that we're not like, okay, here's a spot that they're talking about. That way we actually get something unexpected. It's okay if you're deceiving me for the sake of entertainment like this.
Yeah.
Because there are assholes who will just want to leak everything, who just want to spoil the fun.
Yeah.
So, no, I want fun.
I want fun too, and that's what professional wrestling is supposed to be. Professional wrestling, just like everything else, is supposed to be fun.
Stop chopping your hand. It's never done anything to you. How dare you?
I will keep chopping my hand until it turns as hard. I will rule this channel with an iron hand.
Yeah, but if you chop your hand, you're just going to wind up losing it. And you're also going to wind up damaging, like, the other hand on the edge over there. So,
What can I say? Pain creates character.
no, it doesn't. Pain creates pain.
Fuck.
Character creates character.
Alright, fine.
Talk about NXT. Come on.
We'll talk about NXT, but before I get to it, I want to share another poll statistic. I shared another weekly poll on Ringside Chat, which is a wrestling-related group on Facebook. Which is your favorite tag team for both NXT and AEW? 14 votes for AEW's tag team FTR against 6 votes for the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
So, yeah, definitely loving some AEW action over here. Go figure.
Definitely, and not just because they're AEW, but because they have captured every tag team championship belt in the WWE. NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Top tier. No disrespect to Fish and O'Reilly. They're awesome. The Undisputed Era is phenomenal. But when it comes to tag team wrestling, I gotta give it to Cash and Dax.
Yep. Gotta give it to FTR. Full title retainment.
Indeed. And now, folks, time for my first ever pay-per-view review.
Probably last ever, too.
Of NXT TakeOver Triple X. We've run out of Triple X jokes.
We made all the freaking Vin Diesel and the shit.
And porn star jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop. NXT TakeOver 30.
The one thing that is a bit of a joke is the fact that they basically took, like, their leaks, well, actually, it doesn't need to be bothered with the leak because it's on the show. The stage setup for NXT's TakeOver, they basically took the stage from WrestleMania 30, which they also branded WrestleMania Triple X.
Yeah.
And they basically recycled it for NXT's 30th TakeOver event.
Ah, damn it. I missed an opportunity to make a WrestleMania 30.
No, that is the joke.
I know.
In fact, these guys are so cheap and so lazy that they didn't bother trying to do something inventive.
Well, to be fair, if you want to compare the Triple X Mania to NXT, it looks better at NXT.
Not really.
Fine, whatever.
Alright,
So,
let's get to the show.
alrighty then. Well, to the matches, just want to mention some main event stars that were actually in attendance. The women's tag team champions were at ringside watching. SmackDown superstar and one half of the SmackDown tag team champions, Cesaro, who was in the first ever NXT TakeOver 6 years ago.
Hold on, 6 years. That means they've had 5 takeovers a year? That's how they got to TakeOver 30, right?
Yes.
Oh my god. I feel gross.
It's crazy. Points for not having Mauro Ranallo on commentary with Corey Graves. I get that Corey Graves was also part of the NXT alumni, but no, man, no.
Sorry, Corey Graves has got about as much personality as a wet mop.
Thank you.
That's probably why Kenny Omega can wipe the floor with him, because he's a cleaner.
All right, so the night started off with a triple threat tag team match. The winner faces the Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Championship. We got Breezango. Okay, good.
For the record, I'm sorry, these guys are fun.
These guys are fun. Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
You have to remember, they started off as a joke individually, then they went on to be a joke collectively, and now people are actually enjoying. You know what? These guys actually haven't had a proper win and proper respect and shit. So let's give them support because fuck everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
The show sucks. Let's actually give something fun.
Indeed. Versus Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza of the Phantom League.
The Liga del Fantasma.
El Legado del Fantasma.
Okay, no. And for those who are not versed in pro wrestling, these guys are basically like an evil luchador faction who are led by what the fuck is his?
Santos Escobar, the son of the of the legendary luchador, the Fantasma.
Yeah, so I'm over here thinking to myself okay, so they're trying to uphold the legacy of lucha when they're trying to talk about this legacy of this guy's big family history. Dude, this is your first time on here. Fuck your history.
Yeah, fuck you. And not many of us even remember Mil Máscaras.
It's a damn shame that we don't remember Mil Máscaras, but on the other hand, that's kind of what happens when you try to make a splash on American pro wrestling where they don't have a lot of respect for lucha.
Yep. And
I just study this shit.
And the third tag team is Danny Burch and This was a good triple threat tag team match, and I'm happy that Breezango got the win. I didn't like how the match finished, though. It finished with Tyler Breeze landing a super kick onto Oni Larkin and then just pinning him 1, 2, 3. I'm like, that was kind of a weak finish.
Nora Taku is joining us on our Instagram feed saying hello. Hi, Nora.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
We're simulcasting all this on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube right now. That's a little test just for fun.
Indeed.
It's probably a one and done for this one version, though.
Probably. I think we're doing great so far.
Yeah, so far we're doing good.
You know, not counting the lack of gimmicks.
Yeah, because they wanted motorcycles and he wanted dancing women in cages, but he didn't give me any money for any of that, so screw him. Alright, let's get on with the match.
So yeah, great match. Kind of a weak shot at the NXT tag against Imperium.
Breezango won.
Breezango won.
Yes!
Yes!
Were you checking your teeth in front of people?
I was checking my teeth in front of a selfie camera. Before I continue on, it has been announced that Tommaso Ciampa will be returning to been on national television cross and TakeOver in your house. So he's been gone since June.
Holy shit.
Yes, indeed. Holy shit, indeed. Then, another announcement. NXT UK will return to its programming on back to March. We have announcements from NXT UK brand since. Alright, then afterwards, we have a good one-on-one match. Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. This match, I would like to title it as a match that I don't want to see because I like both wrestlers going over the other because they're both awesome stars.
Too bad.
Too bad. But this was a good match. This whole goes Thatcher on the knee of Finn Balor, trying to keep him from using the coup de grace, which is his. Of course, Finn Balor tries a first attempt later on the match, but he missed the execution, hurting his knee more, and Timothy Thatcher, the clever shark, target the knee, locking in a single leg lock in the book, in the knee of, also applying his own shoot-style holds and joint manipulations against Finn Balor. So, on the one hand,
So good technical match, very
it's a good technical match, and it's a great way to. It's a good thing to have on the card. And you know what? I'll be honest. Despite Finn Balor winning this match, which he did, this did put over Timothy Thatcher and Finn Balor. Timothy Thatcher, more Thatcher than Balor, in my opinion, because Balor, man, he took a huge 180 after losing to Velvet, not being able to qualify for the. Ah, crap. Ah!
Hang on.
Back up. Here you go.
We solve problems on the fly, folks. That's how we work. Put your thing out.
All right, am I good?
You're good.
Yay! Yes, I did. So, on the one hand, it feels like a consolation prize for Finn Balor to get a win, and that's fine. I hope they move him on to better storylines. Timothy Thatcher, he looked like a star.
God damn it. Here, take mine.
Fine.
Ow.
We are terrible.
We are facing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Yeah, we are the worst.
Like, the thing is, the microphone set is only for our Twitch and YouTube stream. Our Instagram is just taking the mic from the phone, so
So they can still hear us through Instagram.
there we go. Speak up.
All right, I am speaking. So we're good?
We're good for now.
All right, thank God. All right, so now I'm going to have to talk through this. No, we're fine. I'm fine. That's okay. All right, so then afterwards, we finally got it. The 5-man ladder match for the North American Championship that they've been hyping up for weeks with a series of triple threat matches for qualifiers to participate in this match. Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Velveteen Dream.
You can tell where Jose's enthusiasm is.
Yes, because there was another report earlier last week that Triple H basically was answering questions about the investigation behind Dream, and he basically said that he stands by where he said that they looked into the matter and they found nothing against Dream in the allegations, and they're just going to move on. However, the accuser made it very clear that WWE did not contact him for any information regarding the allegations.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. A huge black guy to NXT right now. Thankfully, I will say this, Velveteen Dream did not win the match. But there were some awesome spots. There was a moment where Cameron Grimes was standing in between ladders and he had his legs split in midair.
I want to try something.
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Now we can both speak in.
Cool. All right. So, as I was saying, there were some memorable moments. Cameron Grimes was standing between ladders, and he had his legs split between in the midair. You
Ow.
know, that was agonizing. There was a Tower of Doom moment in the match where Bronson Reed power bombs one of the competitors who was German suplexing another competitor who was superplexing another competitor, and there was a huge Tower of Doom.
Oh, I love those.
Oh,
Is it wrong that
yeah.
I love those?
No, it's not wrong, and if you don't love those, then you don't have a soul.
Apparently not. Welcome to professional wrestling, people.
Oh yeah, there were There were moments where they were close to finishing the match. Bronson Reed nearly captured the championship until he splashed onto Johnny Gargano, with Candice LeRae attacking from behind, trying to save her husband. But
Nope.
the match ended with Damian Priest at the top ladder, knocking out Gargano and capturing the North American Championship.
Yay.
So finally, Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy, the man who wants to live forever, is now champion. And how does he celebrate? By going into a hot jacuzzi with a bunch of lovely ladies.
And it was so stupid too, because he took a selfie of himself, and Triple H, in his usual stupid fashion,
he freaking points at
him while he's
champion.
in the bathtub, rather than the jacuzzi or whatever with these chicks.
Oh,
He's got the
my
championship belt on his shoulder.
I know.
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
It's so stupid. I love it.
It is stupid.
Next
I love
match.
it. And I'm all for Damian Priest being champion. I hope he has a really good title reign, honestly.
Next match.
Next match, we got Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, which nobody gave a shit about. But I'll talk about it.
Wow. Way to take the piss out of that one.
Oh, please. WWE took the piss out of it before I did. All right. I guess I'll talk about the match because there are some positives to mention. First of all, Pat McAfee made it very clear that he is the pretentious, self-centered heel from outside of wrestling. And if you want further proof, just look at his freaking Titantron video. His name is plastered on every little screen in the Titantron. Pat McAfee, Pat fucking McAfee.
Wow. It's
He
almost
came
as
down-
if he wants you to hate him.
He came down with his own entourage of football buddies whose names I don't know because I don't follow football that much. I will remedy that when I start watching the XFL in the future. And Adam Cole. They get into the fight. And yes, Pat McAfee. He actually has talent. He actually showed skills. He's green as fuck, but that is to be expected from a rookie. There was a moment where the Undisputed Era got into a bit of a pull apart with McAfee's entourage, I guess I'll call them, until Pat McAfee was on the top rope and annihilated everyone with a 450 dive. So that was cool.
Nice.
That was awesome. But Adam Cole, being the baby face that he is.
When did Adam Cole, the leader of the Undisputed Era, one of the big bad guy factions of NXT, become the good guy?
Well, because they were
What?
setting up Pat McAfee, who was the special guest, as the bad guy, obviously, getting on to Adam Cole's nerves, taking shots at him for being short, for not being big enough, for having the body of a child, making short jokes. So
Those short jokes are in short order, man.
So yes, I don't know if this is a full babyface turn on Adam Cole, but Adam Cole definitely got the win and threw his ass out of the ring and back into the gridiron.
Okay.
Oh wait, he's not even in the gridiron. Throw his ass back in his stupid YouTube show.
So yay, okay.
Yay!
The wrestling guy beats the football guy. That's
The wrestling
good,
guy
isn't it?
beats the football guy, and hopefully that is the first and last that we'll ever see of that crap.
Next match.
Next match. Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship.
Okay.
And I will say this, Dakota Kai has definitely earned this shot. She has been with NXT since 2017, and she has been directionalist, so to say. Like, since she came back, she did a heel turn in a spectacular fashion against her former best buddy Tegan Nox at War Games, and then she's been on a tirade with her bodyguard Raquel Gonzalez, who looks fantastic. She can crush people. Holy shit!
Jose wants to be crushed by Raquel Gonzalez, and then he wants to get run over by Shotzi Blackheart, and then he wants to get his arms torn off by Rhea Ripley.
Yes, I want all three of those things.
Jose's got issues.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Don't let your memes be shut the fuck up. You get on with the match.
So
Go
this
to the
was
match.
No. So this was a stellar match, and Io Shirai looks awesome, especially when she pays tribute to Rey Mysterio and lays out with her own Tiger Feint kick, the 619 onto Dakota Kai. That was cool. There was a moment where the referee was knocked down and Raquel Gonzalez tried to help out her buddy to try and win, but unfortunately that wasn't enough. That move was foiled as Io Shirai executes her trademark moonsault to get the win and retaining the championship. Of course, after the match, she was blindsided by Raquel Gonzalez once again, and just as she was about to powerbomb Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley's music hits, and both Ripley and Gonzalez have a stare down in the middle of the ring. Holy shit.
Okay, so they don't whip each other's ass?
They don't whip each other's ass, but I want to see them whip each other's ass. A battle of the super women.
Yeah, Jose's got some issues, folks. Jenny, you need to keep like 50 feet away from Jose.
Oh,
He's
shut
gonna be like,
up. No,
he's
stop
gonna be
it. You're making me
destroyed.
look like a creep. Come on, dude.
Okay, no, but Jose wants to be destroyed by sexy women.
Yes.
Okay, actually, you know what? Go ahead and destroy him. See what I care.
Anyways.
Nora, go ahead and like break Jose's neck.
Yeah. Then
And
after
you're watching
after
on
the
YouTube, you can go ahead and break his ankles. Every woman who ever watches us on the Ravens Flock has an open invitation to destroy Jose because that's what he wants.
You
yeah.
done? You done?
No.
Get it out.
All right, can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished.
Thank you. Then afterwards,
I'm just messing with you, right?
yeah, I know. And then afterwards, after the villains leave, there's a stare down between Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. But of course, there was no physical altercation. There was no pull apart. They just had a stare down, which is fine. And then we go to the main event of the pay-per-view.
Wait, really? Already?
Yes.
How
the
many matches was
Limitless
that?
one. There was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches.
6 matches? They
Yeah.
call that a freaking pay-per-view event? I ought to slap these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
How long was this?
I don't know. It's supposed to be like maybe 2.5 hours for the pay-per-view.
2.5 hours? You only got 6 matches?
Maybe.
What the fuck? Those matches had better been like clinics of epic death. No. What the fuck?
So now we go to the main event.
Oh my
Keith
God.
Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. And I'm going to say this. There were some issues with this match. This wasn't a 5-star match, and there's a reason why. Apparently, it is reported that either during the match or before the match, Karrion Kross had a dislocated shoulder, which kept him from performing at 100%. This was announced. This was made news last night. He's expected to go through an MRI scan today, and pending on the results of the MRI scan, whether or not he will be able to continue. But going on later in the match, despite that, Karrion Kross actually got some near wins, trying to choke out Keith Lee with the cross jacket. By the way, that's the name of his sleeper chokehold, the cross jacket.
Cross jacket. Oh,
You know, the cross straight jacket or something like that.
You mean like the straight jacket?
Yes.
Okay, so he's being choked out. We're using a straight jacket.
Not really a straight jacket. It
I
was
know.
a sleeper.
It's
Yeah.
a metaphor.
And then Keith Lee trying to get his victories over him with the Big Bang Catastrophe and the Spirit Bomb, but he keeps kicking out. And then finally, Karrion Kross lays out his finisher, his Doomsday Saito Suplex, whatever the shit, and gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new NXT champion, Karrion Kross. Doomsday has come full circle.
Oh no! Like you gotta understand, like the gimmick with Karrion Kross is like this super ominous, like terrifying bad guy. He's got a sexy valet. Her name is Scarlett Bordeaux. She's like she looks like a beautiful like Playboy pinup model, but she's like evil and stuff. And
Oh,
she's
yes.
in leather, and they both like do evil stuff to them and stuff. Like what was it that they handed who a contract that blew
They
up on
handed
fire?
Keith Lee a contract, and there was a flame that came out of the contract that blew up on Keith Lee's face.
Oh yeah, no, that they signed the contract for that match, and they handed it to Keith Lee. He opens it because it was like in a closed like portfolio, and it just like caught fire and blew up in his face or something.
Yeah.
Okay, like, so they have evil powers.
They have evil powers, and they were victorious.
Oh no, the
Now,
evil power people are
one
victorious.
can make the argument that maybe it wasn't fair to Keith Lee because his title reign was short because he was only champion for a little over a month. But one can also make the argument that because Keith Lee has done so successful in NXT that he is now due for a main roster call-up. Maybe. I personally don't want him called up because we know how WWE treats the NXT call-ups in the past.
You got that right. He's gonna be a real main eventer.
Yeah, shut up.
You know, because like we have a show called Main Event.
He's
He's a main eventer.
Stop, please. Stop.
God damn it.
All right, so now highlights and lowlights. Highlights from Saturday night's Dynamite. My highlights from Dynamite would have to be a couple of factors. The tag team match between FTR and Private Party, the promos between Moxley and MJF, and Brodie Lee winning the TNT Championship and the Dark Order reigning supreme.
Like, that's actually a fucking surprise. I'm like, okay, it's about time this evil guys of Dark Order, of evil guys who, like, I make this joke every time, but it's never wrong. Half of the guys in the Dark Order wear these cheap luchador masks, and they're all Buffy looking dudes, and they squirm around the freaking ring as if they were like the Dusks, the nobodies from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
You know, like the Heartless and the Nobodies put together, and they get the Dark Order, and they get these guys, and they just squirm and wiggle and writhe and wiggle around. They we made the other joke. It was the Putty Patrol from Power Rangers. That's the Dark Order. They're the Putty Patrol.
Yes. The match was even better without the creepers getting involved. So that was good.
I know. It's like, go figure. Like, they know when to back off when their master tells them to.
The low light, on the other hand, is the post-match beatdown after the six-man tag between the Dark Order and the Elite, because I want them to pull the trigger on Kenny Omega's heel turn.
You want them to pull the V trigger?
That was bad.
I'm bad.
All right, so highlights from NXT TakeOver 30. I almost said XXX there. Couple highlights. The main event was good. Karrion Kross put on a hell of a clinic despite wrestling with a dislocated shoulder. So that was awesome. I hope that he doesn't have to relinquish the championship. That would suck.
That would suck.
Because everybody at WWE NXT, they pushed Karrion Kross to the moon so far.
And he's been doing a good job. He's showing himself as a terrifying force to be reckoned with. He's got, obvious ring dominance. He's got presence on there. Scarlett Bordeaux is the icing on the cake.
Yes.
And, they have a nice little package. They have a nice little thing going. So.
Another highlight that I liked from the pay-per-view was Damian Priest as North American champion. And of course, Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher. That was a good match. My low light that I would have to be is... There's really not much of a low light. I'm just glad that they're done with Pat McAfee. Hopefully, he's not coming back in WWE ever.
Yes, please and thank you. Get him the hell off our wrestling TV.
Yes, please. And Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher, even though I personally did not want to see both of them wrestle each other because I don't want to see one of them lose, that was my only gripe. Other than that, it was still a good match, and I think that neither of them came off weak. So,
excellent. Cool.
Yeah. And, of course, there is no ratings this week, so guess what? My opinions do matter!
All right, for those of you watching on Twitch and YouTube, this is basically the same setup that we have on our Instagram show called the Wednesday Night War. We do it Thursday nights, that way we can actually get the Nielsen ratings in, and we can give our input based on what our opinions are from the show and what is objectively being shown with the demographics watching these shows. But in this case, one of them is a pay-per-view. The other one was a pre-recorded show that was put up to fill in for Saturday because they can't air on Wednesday normally. So we're just going opinion-based this time because fuck it.
Yep. Fuck it. Now, for next week, of course, next week NXT will be airing Wednesday night on USA Network, but next week's edition of Dynamite will be airing on Thursday instead of Wednesday due to the NBA games. And let me pull up the calendar right now. It's calendar time.
Calendar time for Buddy.
Let's see.
That's an obscure reference for you.
Yes, indeed. AEW Dynamite will be airing on Thursday, August 27th, instead of Wednesday, August 26th. So, I don't know. Should I do a wrestling review next week? I don't know. Maybe I should take a break. Maybe. But anyways, nonetheless, you know what? Wancho, you made me realize something. It doesn't matter if we have all these gimmicks. It doesn't matter if we have the
We got to wrap
leather.
up. We got 20 seconds remaining.
I know. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. And please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.tv. Follow us on all social media outlets. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Fully Loaded Sunday. I'm Jose Casabona. Then joining me, Wanda Rouse. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.